What is up, gang? Happy Friday. We made it to the weekend, and it's a big weekend for us. A holiday weekend. We've got Monday as an extra day to kind of celebrate the end of summer. And it's typically a pretty big football weekend. I know here in Kentucky, we're going to be having our first home game, and I get tons of questions about, Amanda, how do you stay on track when you're tailgating during football season? So I'm going to help you with my go-to tips for staying on track during tailgating season. If you're watching this on the replay, my name's Amanda Nyberg. I'm a registered dietitian with a passion for health and wellness. And my goal is to provide you with relevant nutritional strategies so that you can stay on track or get back on track with your weight loss. So we're a big football family, probably my hubby and my son more so than me. I tend to go to the football games for the tailgating, for sure. So the hardest part about managing kind of like the tailgating and your goals for weight loss and overall health is really just the duration in which you are surrounded by food. So these are the things that I do whenever I am going into a tailgating situation. Number one, I'm gonna try to drink as much water as possible. And you guys know I love electrolyte water. A lot of times, we go into these scenarios, maybe we start right off the bat with alcohol, which I promise you is going to set you up to fail later in the day. So start with a ton of water. Make sure you go into your event well hydrated, and then pace yourself. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about alcohol in just a second, but splitting up, have an alcohol drink, have some water, have an alcohol drink, have some water will really help you to manage really more so your hunger in the long run. So don't forget the importance of staying well hydrated. I know back in the day when we were like hardcore tailgaters, we would pack coolers full of alcoholic beverages and we would always forget the water. But this time in my life, I never forget the water. I definitely want to make sure I have that. Number two, delay your first bite. This is really big, okay? Because in these types of scenarios, it's about grazing. We tend to have like a little chip here, a little cracker here, a little cookie here. And at the end of the day, you're 3,000 calories in because you've just been nibbling on traditional kind of junk food all day long. So I find for me, if I can delay that first bite as long as possible, that I'm not eating all day long. I'm not eating the whole time I'm there. So because the minute I take one bite, it's over, okay? I'm eating the whole time. So keep that in mind. Think about not eating right when you get there. Don't just take a little bite of something, delay that first bite, and it will really help you to stay on track. Then when you're ready to eat, don't just graze, okay? Get a plate, get the protein. There's always good protein at a tailgate, whether it be maybe some fried chicken or barbecue, maybe a hamburger, drop the bun, whatever it may be. But make sure you get some good protein. And then if you can find any vegetables, load up on those for sure. But use everything else in moderation. If you sit down and kind of eat a meal, then you'll be less likely to kind of nibble and graze throughout the tailgate. So that is my other suggestion. The other thing is make sure you bring something that you are able to nibble on, okay? Because again, once you get started, it's really hard to stop. So I try to make it a priority that there's always a token veggie tray at my tailgate. I'm gonna bring the veggie tray. A, it's easy, and B, I'm probably the only one that's gonna eat it. But if I've got broccoli, so I've got some like sugar snap peas, these little mini peppers are really good. My kids even like these. But if you have that out there with maybe some hummus that you can use, some guacamole, let me tell you, you can eat all the broccoli you want and you're gonna still be on track. So if you feel the need to just eat the broccoli, eat the carrot sticks, eat the celery, eat the cucumber slices. You can be unlimited about that. You can't eat all the chips you want. You can't eat all the Cheetos you want. Leave those for the kids. You can't eat all the cookies you want. So I like to have something there that I can eat mindlessly, because again, a lot of times you're just standing around the food. So you're not necessarily eating because you're hungry. You're eating because it's there. So make sure you're the one that brings that at least one healthy option. And I love just some plain raw vegetables for that. The other thing is, think about going into the stadium, okay? So finally, you've tailgated. If you're like us, or my husband, he tailgates for a good 4 to 6 hours before the game. But once you get into the stadium, again, your food choices are not gonna be the best. It's just, a lot of like stadium food. So I always try to bring a couple of snacks with me to kind of sneak in the game. Don't tell them, okay? Like hide them somewhere. I'm hiding snacks, you're hiding bourbon. I don't know. Let's see. But I love to make up these like little trail mix packs and put like my favorite stuff in there, because I do always get like a sweet tooth. So I love to use like the Lily's chocolate, and I even had some of these and they kind of melted in my purse, but it's okay because it gets all over the nuts. So it's like Lily's chocolate, which is that low carb chocolate. And I've got some craisins in here, some cashews. So you can just tuck this in there and tuck it in your shirt, and then you're off to the game. The other thing that you can take, I love these like little individual packs of like beef jerky. Again, when you think about snacks, you want to think about proteins and fats, because here's the deal. I always tell my clients, think about putting a cracker, a chip, a piece of a pretzel, a cookie in your mouth and suck on it. What happens? It just melts away, okay? That's why you can eat a sleeve of crackers and still be hungry. That's why you can eat a bag of chips and still be hungry. There's not a lot of substance or volume that's gonna fill you up. But when you eat nuts, and if you put beef jerky in your mouth and suck on it, what happens? Nothing. Nothing. You gotta chew this, you gotta swallow, you gotta do all the things. And so that food is gonna fill you up and keep you full. Also, proteins and fats take 4 to 5 hours to digest, so they satisfy you for longer. And so that's why you gotta be really careful with like the chips and stuff, because they're gonna satisfy you for a small period, but not the long period. So you'll see most of my snack choices are gonna be kind of that combination of proteins and fats. And I mean, even like a protein bar, grab a protein bar, take it with you, and that way you've got a snack to kind of eat while you're there. All right, I wanna wrap it up and talk a little bit about alcohol, because my people drink alcohol, and so you're my people. And here's the deal, I think it's important to find that balance in your lifestyle. This weekend's gonna be hard because it's like tailgating on top of a holiday weekend, which can mean a lot of alcohol in some people's lives. So overall, I always tell my clients, if weight loss is your goal, use alcohol in moderation, ideally once a week, because alcohol does slow down your metabolism, okay? Unfortunately, that is the one nutritional fact that is true. And the reason for that is because alcohol is the 4th macronutrient. A lot of people don't realize that. You have carbs, proteins, fats, and alcohol. For every gram of alcohol, you get 7 calories. There are no carbs, fats, and proteins in alcohol because it is the 4th macronutrient. Because there is no place to store alcohol, okay, in the body has to work first and foremost to get rid of it. So when you're drinking alcohol, the body has to put on the back burner proteins, carbs, and fats metabolism in order to break down and get rid of the alcohol. So that's why when people say alcohol slows down your metabolism, it's true, okay? So you can get away with alcohol, once a week, but you can't get away with it every night. So my go-tos for kind of alcohol, well, I'm kind of all over the board with what I drink on a tailgate situation. But I do love these like little Trulies. There's a lot of different, I think like White Claws, spiked seltzer, I think is another one. But they're nice because they're 100 calories. They're super low carb. And they're refreshing. It's kind of like, a nice little LaCroix with a hint of alcohol. So the alcohol level is not too high. I can have a couple and not be, dancing on the car hoods like I might have been in the past. But if you don't want to drink alcohol, I love mineral water. Carbonated water is really good. This is one of my favorites to kind of sip on. Again, you're kind of like in the spirit. Here's the thing about tailgating is grab your Yeti. Where's my Yeti? I'm gonna grab my Yeti. I'm all about lying. I just lie to people, okay? Grab your Yeti, fill it with ice, put some club soda. Your friend comes by and says, "Oh, what are you drinking?" You're like, "Oh, I'm drinking a vodka tonic, vodka soda here. So good." They never know the difference, okay? A lot of times people are more uncomfortable when you're not drinking than when they're drinking. So I like to fib a little bit. So think about that as you're planning for your tailgate tomorrow. Load up on the water, pace yourself with the alcohol, take food that you can munch on, i.e. tons of veggies. Don't nibble and graze. Try to delay that first bite, then sit down and eat a meal, a substantial, plate, and consider grabbing some snacks to kind of take with you. I hope you guys found this beneficial. Give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts if you did, and even more importantly, use the share button below. Share it with your friends and family because I promise you, they've got questions about how to stay on track while tailgating. All right, I hope your team wins. I'm definitely going to be rooting those cats on. So have an amazing weekend. I'll talk to you soon.